Hi, everybody. Welcome and welcome back. My name is Kimiko Sumi, and today I want to talk about, do a story time about when I was 15 years old, and I uh, had to start going to a class for people who were um, had mental issues in middle school. Now, it all started off with me getting into like a exchange of words with one of my teachers in middle school at one of my previous schools, and it was like it just got blown out of proportion. Like I just told the teacher, I told her, I was like, "Oh, we're because we were on the computer. It was a computer class, and I was playing games. I saw all the rest of the students playing, getting on other things on the computer instead of doing their work. So I followed suit. And instead of her going to the other students and confronting them, she just came to me. And so she was like putting me in my place for playing games on the computer instead of doing my typing, work or whatever. So when she left uh, where I was sitting at by the computer, I was kind of like kind of heated about it a little bit internally, mentally. So I got up and I confronted her at her desk, and I was like, "Where do you get off doing this? Blah 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 blah." I didn't cuss her out or nothing, but I just simply was like, "Where do you get off?" And she got very afraid, and then she just blew it out of proportion. And that's literally what I basically said. Where do you get off telling me to stop doing my work? To stop playing when everybody else is doing the same thing as me. That's where I got the idea from. She reported me to the principal, and then she had the police involved, the security, the police that was at the middle school, and they all got together. They made it even more like dramatic than it really was. Now that I look back, I knew kind of then that it was blown out of proportion, but she got the police. She was talking about she wanted to file charges against me for saying that. Where do you get off telling me to stop playing games on my computer when everybody else is doing the same thing too? Where I got the idea from anyway. So she got the police involved. Excuse me, she got the police involved, and I had to go to the principal's office, and then that's how they decided that I had severe emotional problems and stuff, and that I was emotionally disturbed. So initially, they put me in a classroom with people who had mental issues and like maybe like had a lower intelligence than most students, or just something wrong with them mentally. And at first I didn't really know that it was really for that. Like I was just like, okay, I'm in this class. Most of the time I'm spent in this class, and I only go to a few classes that are normal now. So anyway, something happened, and I'm not going to get into that, where I had to transfer to a different school. So I still had to go to one of those classes, and this class was initially by the cafeteria, and everybody would see me go in there, and they would make fun of me for it, and it was embarrassing. And eventually, I stayed at that school, the new middle school that I was going to, and I stayed in that class for like half a semester. And the next year, when I returned back to school, I was placed back in that classroom. And guess what, y'all? It was a classroom at the end of the hallway, which people know what that is. They really know what that is then. So I was with, students that had intellectual problems and mental disabilities. And I'm not saying that I didn't need to be there, because I did. I didn't know that I was actually mentally ill then at 15 years old, 15, 16 years old, but I was. But I don't think that I deserved to get that type of punishment just because I simply stood up for myself. I didn't cuss that teacher out. I didn't hit her, nothing. I didn't even really get loud or anything like that. And that could be Could have been because I am a black woman. That could have been a racial issue, okay? But I'm not gonna say that, but it was. I've had a lot of unfair things like that, but it's just embarrassing. And then also, they would have a short bus in front of my where I live, the townhouse, the condo that we lived in Richardson. They had a short bus that I was supposed to get on, but I refused. I absolutely refused. I had rather walk all the way down the street just to catch the normal regular school bus with everybody else. I never caught that short bus. I just did it because even though I realize now that I have a mental disability and I am emotionally disturbed, no, to me, short bus signifies somebody that has a low IQ or is not intellectually, you know, there, not intellectually, like normal or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Like the IQ is low, or they were just born with a intellectual disability where they don't understand or know or can't learn as fast paced as everybody else. So I wasn't about to get on that bus. I wasn't about to get on that school bus. So like I said, I would walk a couple of blocks to get on the normal school bus with everybody else. And so I reflect on those times, and um, I did get out of that class the final year I was in normal high school, or just like public high school. I did get out of that class when I moved to North Dallas and went to this high school. I absolutely refused to be in another classroom like that at the high school. So um, basically most of my whole public school and stuff like that, it was horrible. It was terrible. It was hell. And I still have nightmares about going back to those schools and stuff, and reliving my teenage years. I don't want to go back there. I'm glad I'm an adult. I'm happy that I can make my own decisions. Nobody can force me to go somewhere that I don't want to go, as long as I follow the rules of society and keep a strong moral compass. Nobody can tell me what to do at 36 years old. Nobody can keep me nowhere. And that's what I feel bad for, like teenagers a lot of the time, and younger people, because they are like forced to literally go somewhere every day, and a lot of them get bullied, and a lot of kids now have mental disorders like I did, and even worse, and they have social anxiety. That's horrible. That's absolutely fucking terrible. I can't imagine me having social anxiety and being in public school. Okay, because I graduated from high school in homeschool, by the way. But I cannot, my heart like pours out for the kids, the teenagers that have to endure social anxiety while they're forced to go to a school. And yes, I feel like school should be mandatory. Yeah, I feel like that everybody should go to school, but I don't see nothing wrong with school and education. You know what I'm saying? Because it's amazing. I love school. That's why I'm in college now. I love learning, and it's not even just to simply get a certificate in medical billing and coding, but it is to actually want to learn and know more. I love to learn. But that was just a short video. I'm not really trying to be funny. I was just kind of just sharing my experience. And I do remember that the teachers in that classroom, that little small classroom at the end of the hallway, I do remember they were insensitive to the students at times. And I do remember there was this one girl. She was very fragile, and she had a like a tumor or something like that in her brain. There was something in her brain that was wrong. So she was kind of like, like she didn't operate normally. That's why she was in the classroom with me. And she was so small, and I remember that she didn't want to get up from her desk or something like that. So they had the school police force her, and they put force on her. She wasn't fighting back or nothing. So they didn't really give a fuck about, like I say, people don't really give a fuck about people who have mental illness because they don't know what it's like. They don't understand it. They don't care. And that's why I kind of do think that other people who are able to, like, kind of like me, who can like empathize and have lived their experiences. I feel like people like me and other people, you know, who wish to better themselves and have improved, although they have limitations with their mental illness and stuff. I believe those type of people are better suited to deal with the mentally ill, okay, as opposed to somebody who doesn't understand. But that's just my take on that, and I hope you got something out of this video. And I don't mind telling my experiences. I do keep a lot to myself, but I'm not ashamed of that. That's just a part of my story, okay? And it's over with. So that's my video, y'all. And I hope you like, comment, subscribe, share my video, hit the notification bell, comment if you like. Once again, let me see. And I will see y'all in another video, my lotus flowers. And I hope y'all have a great rest of the day. And like I usually say, I will too. And I will see y'all in another video. Peace. Bye-bye.